Hello everybody and welcome once again to Talking Ballocks, the weekly podcast brought to you by talkingballocks.co.uk. Don't forget you can join the debate on our Facebook, Talking Ballocks, and also at Talking Ballocks on Twitter. It's an international theme this week, so kicking us off we're going to discuss the Euro qualifiers, and I think the only place to really start with the Euro qualifiers is the incredible job that Northern Ireland have done. The first time they qualified for Euros for 30 years. Gentlemen, what do we think about Northern Ireland?
Yeah, they have got through and they've done well to get through because their group wasn't the easiest. They had Romania and Hungary, who you would probably class as at least equal to Northern Ireland. But Northern Ireland have been lucky due to the fact that Greece have absolutely... I don't even know if there's a word for it, for what's happened to Greece.
They've basically done what their country's done. Collapsed.
Okay, yes, they have. To lose at home to the Faroe Islands is shocking, and results like that have helped Northern Ireland to get where they are, which is technically winning the group.
It's crazy to think that they've only managed to get 3 points from 9 games, and it wasn't long ago that they actually won the competition. It's shocking.
So we can't really talk about Ireland in the Euros without mentioning Southern Ireland and their emphatic victory over Germany the other night, which I can't imagine there are many fingernails left in Southern Ireland after watching that game.
Have you seen the Ireland goal?
Yes.
It's the most Irish goal I've ever seen in my life.
How do you mean?
Well, it was a hoof from the goalkeeper. The defenders let it bounce. Shane Long chased it through, controlled it with his knee, and then smashed it past Neuer. It reminded me of the goal they actually got against Germany back in World Cup, I think it was 2002, when Niall Quinn headed it down and Robbie Keane put it in. It's just, if a goal sums up Ireland, it's that sort of goal.
Did you see his celebration after he scored it?
I was too much in shock. What happened?
He was just, so obviously he had the initial, yes, I'm really good, and then he was just looking around with a look on his face like, you see what happens when I play?
You see how fast I can run?
Yeah, you see how hard I kick?
Of course, the great thing about Republic of Ireland winning is that it leaves one game left in the group, and you've got Germany on 19 points, Poland in second place on 18, and then joint third is Republic of Ireland on 18 as well. I mean, it makes that final group games so much more exciting.
I think you mean joint seconds,
I don't think Ireland are going to make it though, because they're away, aren't they, at Poland?
Yeah, they are.
And with Lewandowski in the form that he is.
Yeah, they're away at Lewandowski.
And let's be honest, Germany aren't going to lose that game or draw that game. They're playing Georgia.
Well, never would have thought Germany would lose to Ireland, but there we go.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of one-man teams, Wales, they only need... Well, if they beat Andorra, who are ranked only slightly better than San Marino, then they also qualify. And I was having a look, and in 8 games, Andorra have conceded 30 goals, so you've got to assume Wales are going to be able to beat them.
Oh, but Gareth Bale's licking his lips, isn't he?
Yeah, hasn't Gareth Bale scored 30 goals this qualifying campaign?
Well, let's face it, they are a one-man team, Wales. But, if it works, right?
To be fair, when your one man is Gareth Bale, I'll take that.
Exactly.
I think that is a bit harsh, because I think Wales actually have a decent squad these days. They haven't had that before. But
okay.
No, you can go through the core of their team, and they've got some decent players. Like, you can have Ashley Williams at centre-back, you can have Aaron Ramsey in midfield, and you can have Gareth Bale at front. That's not a bad spine.
Okay.
I think all 3 of them would definitely get in the England squad as well.
Well, Gareth Bale definitely would, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Ashley Williams, let's be honest, he's a leader for them. He's someone that, I reckon he's been just as influential in qualifying them as much as Gareth Bale has.
No, that's a fair point. I mean, could definitely say that you could rival him with Cahill. Is Cahill and Williams, is there that much of a difference?
I'd say they're pretty level, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the thing with Cahill is that everybody thought that he had such a good season last year, when in reality it was John Terry that had the great season, and it was difficult for Cahill not to look good when playing with Terry. Whereas Williams at Swansea, he has to put in a bit more of a shift than Cahill probably does at Chelsea a lot of the time.
Well, obviously the other home nation being Scotland. Well, they got Lewandowski, didn't they? So they're out. But England, again, another victory tonight. 9 games, 9 wins in Euro qualifying. Poyser, what are your thoughts on England?
Well, for England, I think it's going to be another boring Euros based on tonight, don't you think? At the end of the day, if that's how we go into a game like tonight, going into the Euros, we're going to end up like the rugby team again. Just disappointing and poor performance. It's not going to be exciting, is it, really?
No, you can't. You certainly can't claim that game against Estonia was exciting.
You do know that we'd already qualified, don't you, Poyser?
It does, but at the end of the day, surely these players should be going out there going, you know what, I need to make sure I earn my place to go to this Euros. I need to show why I'm good enough to be in this squad. People like Lallana, Vardy should be going out there. And you know what my biggest rant at this match is? What did we learn and what did he learn? Dele Alli in 3 minutes at the end of the match. What was the use and the point of that? Can anyone tell me?
Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm not a big fan of players getting 3 minutes at the end of a game.
Well,
Especially their first cap.
You can only assume that he's going to play a bigger role in the game on Monday night.
So why didn't we give him 20 minutes tonight?
Well, like I say, because he's probably going to play a bigger role in the game on Monday night. So, you've got to save him for that. I mean, you can give him a run.
Why even bring him on?
Yeah, why bring him on for 3 minutes? Either play and give him a good chunk or don't bother.
Well, you don't know. I mean, somebody might have picked up a knot. You don't know. I think the thing is with England, it's never particularly exciting. I don't think I've ever really watched an England game and I thought, this is incredible football. You've
never watched an England game and you've been excited.
No.
Euro 96 with Gaza and all that.
Well, sorry. All right.
France 98. We can name every tournament apart from probably the last two.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Your life, Mez.
Even in December we were playing better.
I have got to be honest, I have never been particularly excited watching England. I don't think they play particularly exciting football at all.
Are you pretending to be English when you're Scottish, Mez?
No, I'm just saying I don't think England are particularly exciting to watch. I think we've got really good players, and I think we've got players that could play exciting football and play exciting football in the Premiership. But for some reason, when they come together for England, and I don't know whether it's because they don't have enough time to bond or gel together, they just don't particularly excite me as a footballing team. I don't think they play fluid attacking football. I think probably the brightest spark of the game tonight was maybe Ross Barkley. I think he looked pretty bright. But
what about the first goal? Was that not fluid attacking football?
It was Ross Barkley to Theo Walcott.
Was it not also offside? Minus segue, but...
No, it wasn't offside. It was on. Definitely on.
Yeah, it was.
But that one goal out of a whole 90 minutes, not really good enough.
Okay, well then, moving forward, who can you foresee to inject a bit of excitement? Or who can you see being a breakthrough person for England that's going to make you think, oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching England now?
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, I was asking Mez, but yeah, go ahead.
So, you go, Mez.
No, you can go, Matt. It's fine.
Okay, I think... I know it's October now, but I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek could have a part to play in Euro 2016.
Okay, do you think it hinges on how much game time he gets, or do you think he's going to be on the plane anyway?
No, it definitely hinges on game time. But I think at the moment at Chelsea, he is going to have a chance to get this game time. And if you do get the game time, if you play for a big club, you get to play for England. That's pretty much how it works.
Yeah.
I think Mourinho's running out of patience with some of his midfielders like Matic, maybe even Fabregas. So why is he not going to give Loftus-Cheek a go? And if Abramovich runs out of patience with Mourinho, then the new guy might give Loftus-Cheek a go. And I think all it needs is him to have a few games. So I think he's got the talent. He looks big and strong. He definitely looks like a confident player, which you need, especially at the highest level. And I think he can do it. Kane only started playing in November last year. So if Loftus-Cheek can have the same sort of impact for Chelsea from November, I reckon he's on the Euro star there.
That's a very good point. The only thing I'd say was that it's much easier for someone like a Harry Kane who plays up front to grab the headlines than a Loftus-Cheek who's going to do the sort of work that doesn't get the plaudits. But you're absolutely spot on with your point. Poyser, who do you think?
I've gone for James Ward-Prowse, who could be a game changer and could really shake up the squad for them. At the age of 20, he's already made 81 Premier League appearances, which is pretty impressive, I would say, to be honest. Not probably been the biggest name out there, but would you say he's gone quietly about his work at Southampton, who have played some great football, progressed greatly in the league? I reckon it'd be a really good addition to have there and to maybe shake things up a little bit and go, you know what, all you big stars, you think you're guaranteed these places now? You're not. We've got these next prodigy youngsters coming through that, again, only 2 or 3 years younger maybe, but could really shake it up for him.
Well, like Roger said, I assume that his selection would heavily depend on where Southampton finish.
Yeah, that's the only downside, isn't it? That maybe because he doesn't play for the big clubs. But one thing I would say, if you look at this squad, you don't have to pay for a big club anymore. You can actually get in this squad because we haven't got that many big players at the big squads anymore, at the big team side.
No, you are right there. There is a lack of English players at the biggest clubs. So they are starting to play for the Southamptons, who obviously have got a very good youth academy. So as proven by Dele Alli at Tottenham, though I guess they are slightly bigger than Southampton, you can argue about that. And also Vardy from Leicester. Yeah, Bertrand himself, yeah.
Mez, who are you thinking? Who's going to ignite your passion for watching England again?
I'm going to go for Nathan Redmond from Norwich, mainly because I think that winger position for England is open for the taking, especially with Raheem Sterling's form so far this season. He's not really hit the heights or the top gears that he has. Redmond's playing very well for Norwich, scored 3 goals in 7 games in the league. He's playing regularly for the under-21s. Why can't he make that step up?
Well, that's potentially another issue, isn't it? The players who are amazing at under-21 level, but they're never breaking through properly for the seniors.
Yep, potentially.
I mean, James Milner, didn't he have like 300 caps at under-21 level?
And let's face it, if there's a player that's going to get you excited about England, it's definitely James Milner. I think it's going to be a big last 2/3 of a season for Jordan Ibe at Liverpool, especially if you now throw in the Klopp factor, who, if he doesn't motivate you to play for him, I can't imagine there's much hope for you. There's a huge gap for Jordan Ibe to fill at Liverpool, and hopefully, if he has a hell of a second half of the season, he might be the wild card pick to get thrown into the World Cup, to get thrown into the Euros.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, if Liverpool did get out of Ibe, it would be a bit of a win and a bit of a loss, because obviously it'd be good for England and bad for Man United. But all my personal opinions anyway. But yeah, I can see Klopp doing that, because he obviously, when he took over at Dortmund, he had a lot of young players who he managed to bring through. Players like Lewandowski himself and Kagawa, Gundogan, those sort of players.
Yeah, exactly. And Marco Reus enjoyed his best spell under him, so you'd have thought that if Jordan Ibe could emulate some of what he's done, then we'll be on to a winner.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if anybody's going to be able to get the best out of a player like him, it will be Klopp.
So, Mez, who do you think is going to win the Euros then?
My pick is Germany, just because although they lost against the Republic of Ireland, I still think they are the best international team in the world. They had obviously fantastic World Cup, as we know, and just.
I think winning the World Cup can be described as a fantastic World Cup.
So yeah, Germany for me, I think their overall play, their organisation, the fact that team is pretty much at their peak now. They've built up. They've come up from a youth level. It's built up. I mean, yes, there's been a few clear outs after the World Cup. Some of the older players have gone, but I still think that team is capable of beating any European team.
Fair enough. I'm going to pick England to win it, but that's purely because Mez has already picked Germany to win it, and I don't feel like I can pick the same team. England are going to win it because, well, we're not, are we? But England are going to win it
teams are going to fall asleep
because Rooney's going to actually perform at a big tournament. He's going to score some goals. No, Germany are going to win it. Poyser, who do you think?
I'm going to go for an outsider. I'm going to go for Belgium. I think they've got some great attacking players. They've got a really strong unit. If Company can stay fit and Courtois fit and ready to go for the Euros for them, that means they've got a solid defensive line there as well. I've got a feeling they could be in for a shock.
Well, yeah, if you look at Belgium's starting lineup on paper, they should be winning things.
It all depends whether Hazard can get going again for them for the season, have a good season, and go into the Euros on form. And we'd all love it. Let's be honest, we'd all probably love Belgium to win it and be a bit of a wow. Okay, we have another team to contend with up there, that a bit of a shock team.
I prefer England to win it. Yeah.
But let's be honest, that ain't happening. Wales have probably got more chance. Oh, sorry, Gareth Bale's probably got more chance of winning the Euros.
No, but you make a good point, Poyser. When you look at their team, sorry, Hona, you make a good point, and Poyser, you make a good point as well. When you look at Belgium's team, some of their individual players and their quality is fantastic. But again, you've got Christian Benteke, who is currently injured. Will he be able to come back and perform at a top level?
I don't think they'll be worried about that when you've got someone like Lukaku as well to come in.
Yeah, but can you imagine having Lukaku and Christian Benteke in the same lineup, supported by Hazard and De Bruyne? They've got a scary team if they all perform.
I would say, though, as well, with Belgium, if you think about it, I would say 2 or 3 of their players would easily be in the top 10 of the world as well right now.
Name those players.
Yes, please.
Hazard.
Right now?
Courtois.
Right now?
Not on form right now, but in terms of if you were to produce a list right now saying who you think are the top 10 best players in the world, they would be there.
So, right now, you would name 2 or 3 of their players in the top 10 in the world, but not quite right now. Rogers.
No,
Oh, sorry, go on. No, I'm going to move on. I've made a point. Don't want you to answer it. Rogers, over to you.
Okay. I would love to say England. If we could win any major trophy in my lifetime, I'd take it. But we've already we have triers, don't we?
Yeah,
we don't have winners.
That's the England spirit. Well, the last few tournaments though, it's not even been classed as triers, has it? It just hasn't worked. But England in major tournaments is a completely different podcast.
Yeah. So that's why I'm going for France.
Okay, the home nation.
Yeah, well, they're playing at home, and that is a major advantage. And there is some serious young talent, a bit like Belgium, coming through at France. I mean, if you ignore Real Madrid and Barcelona in Spain, you've got Griezmann, who is the best player in La Liga at the moment. The French league is getting stronger. You've got PSG competing at the top of the end stage of the Champions League with players like Kazawa, Matuidi, and Rabiot, and then you've got Lacazette and Gonalons doing well at Lyon. And then you've got players at big clubs now. Schneiderlin, Martial, Kondogbia, Zuma, Mangala, Varane, Pogba, playing for the biggest clubs in Europe. So this is a team of young players who are coming together at the right time. The thing that they are lacking, which I will admit, is they haven't got a leader necessarily in their team. That's what they've got to find. They need a Pogba or someone to come through as a leader to get this team together. Because in '98, when they last held it, they did have leaders. They had Zidane, they had Deschamps, they had Desailly, they had Thuram, they had Larry White. All these players who were leaders. But then you look at Germany. 2 years ago, when they won the World Cup, they only really had Schweinsteiger and Lahm, who were classed as leaders, and they were only 29. So I think there's a chance for France. I really do think there's a chance for France. And when football's at home, anything can happen. We were a gaza foot away from a final against Czech Republic.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
And France have got a really good national anthem. It's not quite as good as this list. If it's awarded on national anthems, I'd give it to Italy, but I think France.
Yeah, France is up there, especially any time you watch Escape to Victory. Realistically, England aren't going to win a major tournament. Neither are any of the other home nations. Now, Poyser mentioned something about a home nations tournament starting up again. Poyser, what was your point on this?
Okay, I really think it'd be something really good to bring back the home nations tournament. The reason it was stopped all them years ago when they used to do it was because England were dominating it. The reason I think it'd be good to bring it back now, I would say pretty much most of the teams are pretty level. Let's look at it. They're all going to the Euros, bar Scotland. Potentially Republic of Ireland won't go, but I would say they're probably still up there as one of the better teams in the home nations. I think it'd be really beneficial to do a home nations tournament like we do with the rugby when we do the Six Nations. Really popular, really good for the teams. But if we did it with football with the home nations, it would also give an opportunity for England, for Wales, and that to go, you know what? Let's bring through some other players to give a go, because these aren't going to be friendlies. They're going to be crunching matches. They're going to be competitive. People are going to want to go and watch these as fans. They're going to be excited about them. I think it'd be a really good opportunity to do.
Rogers, what are your thoughts?
I completely disagree.
How so?
Poyser just said the fans. Whenever this tournament happens, which it isn't, are people going to be interested? No. Does it matter? Really? No. Will people care? No. If Wales are playing Northern Ireland in the Euros in a match that means something, I'll watch it, even at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. But if Wales are playing Northern Ireland in a home nations tournament, who's going to watch this glorified friendly? I mean, who watched England play Estonia tonight? I bet less than who would have watched it if it actually mattered.
But do you not think that... The argument I give you to that is when England played Scotland last in a friendly, it was massive.
But that's
Wembley was sold out. It was all around. The Scots came down in force.
Wouldn't the point be that it's not a friendly, though, and you're actually playing for something?
But how are you going to get that mentality into it?
Well,
it's just going to be a tournament. It's going to be like one of these Emirates Cups. No one's going to care about it. Or you're going to have it on at the same time as the Euros, because we mentioned it Euro 2012 when none of the teams qualified. Who's going to watch England versus Northern Ireland in the home nations? You're going to watch Germany versus France in Euro 2012, aren't you?
I would say you'd do it a year when there isn't a Euros or a World Cup.
But, so, Poyser, you're saying that, but then didn't you say the other week you wanted a winter break? So you're going to try and fit more games into your season now?
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a year where there's no World Cup or Euros, because you could use it to do away with some of the pointless friendlies that go on throughout the year. We all get annoyed when there's an international break and there's friendlies on, but if those games actually meant something, I don't know.
I think that's the biggest problem. If you got it to mean something, but it's hard to get, like, there's no history. It hasn't gone on for, what, 19... When was the last one? Anybody know?
No, but that's the point, though, isn't it? You could create something that becomes this big thing where the trophy or the shield or what it is actually something that's sought after.
It's not going to be in our lifetime, though. How long was the Ashes going before that meant something, or the Ryder Cup? They're big tournaments now. Is the home nations going to get to that standard? Because if it does, then I'm not going to be interested in it.
I don't think it's a good idea, mainly because I don't want to see England playing competitive games against Wales, Republic of Ireland, Scotland, and the rest of the home nations, because that's not going to test England when they come to trying to play big teams like Germany's and France's and Brazil's in World Cups. They're the teams that we should be playing in the friendlies.
But do you think in the friendlies anyone really cares about them?
Well, they should do. They're representing England.
Well, they don't, though, do they? But what you do then? So when those times when there's the two friendlies,
the home nations isn't going to fix.
Well, when there's the two friendlies, you'd have one of those remains as a friendly, so you play against your Brazil or your whoever, and then the other one would be as part of this home nations cup, whatever it gets called.
But I'd rather play like Germany on one friendly and then Brazil on the next friendly. I wouldn't want to give up the opportunity for these young England players to be able to play against the best players in the world, to kick the ball around with the players from Northern Ireland. And that's no disrespect to Northern Ireland, but
I think there's a lot of disrespect to Northern Ireland. But do you not think that it's better for these players to then experience what it's like in a pressured environment where it actually means something, as opposed to a pointless friendly where everyone gets subbed off at half-time anyway?
Yeah, but what's going to make it mean something to
Well, that's just what I'm saying. It's going to have to start somewhere.
How hostile environment would it be if we said to the England squad, you're going up to Glasgow to play a game there in front of the Scots? The Scots would be up for it. They would not want England winning that match. Over to Belfast. Again, it'd be the same atmosphere. It would really put the England team under that atmosphere of, we hate you.
No, you don't.
Lose this game.
We hate you.
You don't get good enough to win a World Cup and beat teams like Brazil.
We're not good enough to win a World Cup anyway.
You don't get good enough to do that. It's a stupid idea.
But we've been playing these friendlies against Brazil, Germany, Spain for the last 50 years. We still haven't won a World Cup.
Can I have the final word on this?
You can have a word.
Oh, okay, well, as the future FIFA president, I'm not going to allow
it. I knew there was a reason I changed my vote last week.
Okay, so we'll agree to disagree, even though if it's fleshed out, this could potentially be a good idea. Poyser, finish us off with your story this week.
Cool. So, story this week. Anyone know what club Usain Bolt supports?
Manchester United.
No.
Yeah, has anyone heard about the bet he had?
Yes.
So basically, he had a bet with a Mexican TV presenter, Pepe Lopez.
Oh, yeah.
And what it was...
No idea.
Yeah, we've all heard of him, haven't we? I'm sure we have.
It was a woman, but fine.
Yeah, okay. He lost this bet. And the punishment he had, which would probably be one of the most humiliating things you have to do as a Man United fan, in my opinion, is to wear an Arsenal shirt.
There is nothing you're worse. A Man United fan? Wouldn't wearing a Man City or a Liverpool shirt be worse? What was the bet anyway?
Because Arsenal were a pathetic team.
Ouch. What was the bet?
I had it a second ago, sorry.
Oh, good research.
Keep that
Oh, my internet's not working. I had it 2 seconds ago.
Poyser, this is a concoction of a story. I'm not deleting this. It's staying in.
Section.
No, it's staying in. No.
Basically, they made a
brain's
bet.
melted again.
Poyser, you've blown it.
They made a bet, and the loser had to wear the opposing team's shirt. So Usain Bolt ended up having to wear Arsenal's shirt because he lost the bet.
Do you not think that the bet was probably whoever wins the game of the weekend? Surely that was it, Poyser. If Man U
could well be.
Okay, so is there any more?
A busy week.
Is there any more to the story than you had to wear an Arsenal shirt?
No.
Oh God.
I tried to find something better this week. It's been a bloody hard week.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think the well has officially run dry.
He had a good run. We'll have to lead him to the woods with a shotgun.
Take him out back,
dear.
put him out of his misery. Folks, if there's anything you'd like us to debate, or if you can come up with a better ending story than Johnny Poyser, let us know on Facebook, the Talking Ballocks page, or at Talking Ballocks on Twitter. That does us for this week. I'm not going to go around and do the rounds because, quite frankly, Poyser's let everybody down. Have a nice week, and we'll speak to you again soon.